Hello, everyone. It's me, Mrs. Gronnert, and today we're going to read the story, The Giant Woman and the Bean Roots, written by me, Mrs. Gronnert. You all know the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. A boy sells his cow for magic beans, then climbs up the beanstalk. He comes in the giant's house, steals his things, and kills the giant. He lives happily ever after. Have you ever wondered what happened to the giant woman after the giant disappeared? Probably not. I was not even important enough in Jack's story to be named. The giant only called me woman, and Jack never even asked my name. I have a name. I have a story. My name is Bestla. This is the story of how I found my own happily ever after. As you know, I am the giant's wife. You saw me working in Jack's story. You saw how I made food for the giant and brought him his things. He never once said thank you. All he did was yell at me to do his work. All day and all night he would yell, "Woman, woman." When the giant was alive, I never had time to do anything but feed him and get him things. So when he chased Jack down the beanstalk and fell into the earth and disappeared, I was free. At first, I thought he would come back, but after some time, he never returned. I was left in the giant castle with only my unicorn to keep me company. I know you don't remember a unicorn from Jack's story. The unicorn was in the stable, of course. She was mine. While the giant was alive, he was very good at eating people and stealing their things. So even though all I ever did was feed him and bring him things, I always had food to eat. Now that the giant is gone, I have no food. I have no money. I only have my unicorn. I decided that the only way I would be able to survive without food would be to sell my unicorn for money. I went out toward the village to sell her. I knew that I needed to get a lot of money in order to survive. On my way to the village, I met a strange little man. The little man said, "Why, that is a very fine unicorn you have, my lovely lady. I would like to buy your unicorn." "Yes, this is a fine unicorn," I replied. "She is very special. She is the only unicorn in the Cloud Kingdom. I will need a lot of money for her." "Oh, my lady, I have something far better than money. I have beans," said the strange little man. "Beans? Do you think I am dumb? I will not give you my unicorn for beans," I replied. "But, my lady, these are no ordinary beans. These are magic beans. All you need to do is take them home and plant them in the ground. Then all your dreams will come true." Magic beans? All my dreams? Being a giantess, I know that magic is real. So I knew this would be a great deal. "Yes, I will sell you my unicorn." So the strange little man took my beautiful unicorn and walked down toward the village. I took the wonderful magic beans and ran back to the castle. I planted them in the ground. Then I waited. The next morning when I woke up, there was a bean plant growing in the ground. The roots of the bean plant stretched all the way to the earth. The magic had worked. Climbing down the beanstalk will make all of my dreams come true. I climbed down. It took me almost an hour to reach the earth. When I stepped off the roots, I could hear someone yelling, "Help! Help!" I ran to the place that the yelling was coming from as fast as I could, and I saw the cutest little pig under a pile of hay. She was shaking and scared and told me that a big bad wolf had come and blew her house down and was just about to eat her, but the wolf heard my thumping footsteps and ran away. I can help you build this sweet little house again, I said. Oh, yes, please, said the pig. I stayed and helped that sweet little pig build her house again. She was so thankful that she invited me to visit her big brother's house. We had the best tasting soup I had ever had. When it was time to leave, I went home with new friends, a full stomach, and a feeling of joy from helping that pig. The next day, I decided to go back down the bean roots to see more of the earth. I was walking through the forest when I heard a terrible voice yell, "All the better to eat you with." And then a horrible scream. I ran as fast as I could. I went right inside the house and I saw a wolf with a huge belly. The wolf was laying down asleep on a bed. I could tell this was not his house. This house did not smell like wolf. It smelled like cookies and roses. The wolf's stomach was moving and bumping. I knew there was something or someone inside, so I grabbed the wolf by his throat and said, "Cough it up, you stinky wolf." Well, the wolf did not want to cough at first, but then I held him above my head and said, "Cough it up, or I will throw you as far as I can." That sure scared the wolf. He coughed once, and out came a little girl. He coughed again, and out came her grandmother. The wolf ran away howling and afraid. The girl and her grandmother were so thankful to be saved from the horrible wolf that they invited me to stay for tea and cookies. We sat down to eat and I made 2 new best friends. When it was time for me to go back home, I returned to the castle with new friends, a full stomach, and a feeling of joy from helping Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. Now that I had 2 great days on Earth, I felt like my dreams might really be coming true. I was helping others, eating great food, and making good friends. Of course, I climbed down the bean roots again. This time, I walked toward the river. As I came close, I heard a tricky voice say, "Jump up on my back." Well, I walked even faster and I saw a delicious cookie standing right on the fox's back in the middle of the river. The fox said, "Jump up on my head or you will get wet." As the cookie began to jump, the fox turned his head and opened his mouth. I quickly stepped in the river and grabbed the cookie from the air. There was an old lady and an old man standing on the bank crying for the little cookie boy. I asked them if he belonged to them and they said yes. The old man and the old woman were so happy that I saved their little gingerbread boy that they invited me to come back to their house and have dinner. The old man and the old woman told me that they could use a good police officer in fairy tale land. Bad wolves, trolls, witches, and foxes had been causing all sorts of problems with the characters living here. They had already heard about me, the beautiful giantess, from the other characters in the land. They all wanted me to stay and become their police officer. Of course, I said yes. I have never been happier in my life with all the good food and good friends. Now, I am living happily ever after. I am Bestla, the giantess police chief of Fairy Tale Land. I hope you enjoyed the story today, and I hope to see you again very soon.